This is number 3. 3, let's see. I'm gonna go ahead and I'm gonna run this one. And we're just gonna see if there's anything that I pick up.
A tragic turn. They were discovered lying outside their bullet-riddled car. Betty Lou was found several feet from the car, dead from 5 gunshot wounds in the back. David was found next to the car. He had been shot at close range in the head, but was still breathing.
5 shots. We lived on 5th and Gales Sedition in Port Angeles, Washington. And Baker Street's up on one end, and Gales Edition's on the other, and my dad's gas station is right there at the end of Gales Edition at 101.
Crow told the police that someone driving a white
Highway 101
stopped and backed up. For unknown reasons, Crow sped up into the opposite direction. The Chevy turned around and followed the couple, but was unable to keep up after Crow made a sharp right turn.
Betty Lou Jensen
but 2 hunters
and David Faraday. David Faraday was a Boy Scout. He was a Boy Scout. That's what the Dirty Boy Scouts is what this is about. They'll kill anybody. They don't care. And it's the Boy Scouts, you know, they've been treated really bad.
Darlene Elizabeth Ferry, who was age 22, and Michael Reynolds Maggio, who was age 19, were parked at the Blue Rock Springs Golf Course in Benicia around midnight.
I was there. I was in California that very night, 4th of July, and we were in the camper. My dad came in after the murder.
Got out of his car with a bright torch, which blinded the couple from being able to clearly see his face.
And my dad had this big red flashlight like Eveready, and I have one here, but it's black. It's red, and man, you can blind a deer with it. And we used to shoot, you know, kind of spotlight deer and stuff. I did when I was a little kid. My dad would like to shoot this flashlight as we were driving down the road. And he'd say, see cops, you see a car, you duck. But, you know, I mean, he's telling me how to do things when I was growing up, so I don't get caught doing nothing. I mean, my dad trained me.
Michael Maggio survived the attack, and he was able to give a description of the shooter to authorities. He described the attacker as a short, heavy-set white man, about 5'8" and around 195 pounds. At 12:40 a.m., an anonymous mail caller contacted the Vallejo Police Department and reported the double murder. During the call, he also said he was responsible for the Jensen and Faraday murders. Police traced the call and found it was made from a phone booth located just blocks from the police department and less than a mile from Darlene Ferrin's home. The caller told the police, "I wish to report a double murder. If you will go 1 mile east on Columbus Parkway to a public park, you will find the kids in a brown car. They've been shot by a 9mm Luger.
Well,
I also killed those kids last year."
But my mother, she married a guy named Malin Park Kent, and she worked at Al Parks Petroleum in Elko, Nevada. And my mother lives by signs, I found out. My sister lives by signs. My dad lives by signs. They always live by signs.
The attacks on the 14th. He also gave details
my
about
dad,
the
when he would come home in Port Angeles from working at Fiberboard,
the self-proclaimed killer demanded that the 3
I'd
letters
pull off
be
his
published
shoes
on the
and
front
stuff
page of
off
each
his
newspaper
feet.
by
He'd
Friday
get in his
afternoon.
chair. He had
Or
this
he would go
green
around
chair,
and randomly
and
kill a
the
dozen people
arms
every
were
weekend.
just
The
ripped
letters
up
were
on him
signed
like
with
it
a
was a
cross-circle
cat.
symbol,
Just ripped
and the
it
letters were
apart. You know,
published,
he had
and
nervous
efforts to
condition.
entangle
I
the
know he
messages
did.
in the ciphers
And he was
began by
also
authorities
on
and citizens.
phenobarbital. They were feeding him. I don't know what phenobarbital does. I don't know.
Police investigators
But I
stated
don't think it's
publicly that they
good.
have doubts as to the authenticity of the letters in an attempt to get the killer to contact them again. The plan worked, and on the 4th of August, another letter arrived at the San Francisco Examiner. The letter began with the words that have since haunted many involved in this case. "Dear Editor, this is the Zodiac speaking. It was the first time the killer used the name Zodiac. In the letter, the Zodiac included information which proved he was present during the murders, and a message that his identity was hidden inside the ciphers."
8th of
A
August,
high school
8
teacher
Lane
and his
Bowling
woman
Alley.
cracked the 408 symbol cipher. The last 18 letters could not be decoded.
And by the way, I
message
see
read, "I like
burnt in
killing
there,
people because it's so
Marietta,
much
in that
fun.
bottom
It is more fun than
thing right
killing
there.
wild
That's my
game in the
mother's
forest,
name, by the
because
way.
man is the
My
most
dad
dangerous
used to
animal
call
of all to
shit.
kill.
Her nickname
Something
from her
gives me the
family
most
was
thrilling
Mariette
experience.
Murk,
It is even
for
better than
murderer.
getting your rocks off with a gun.
And
The best part of it is that when I die, I will reborn in paradise, and them have killed will become my slaves.
George Fairhart, when after this boy got murdered on my bed in Morton, Washington, and he is Lebanese, by the way. No, he's a Syrian, and they passed themselves off as Lebanese in Morton, Washington. And, you know, they built this bowling alley for my dad to run, these Lebanese, man. These Lebanese were behind the hijacking and forcing my dad to comply because George Fairhart stood in front of me saying, now your dad's our slave, now your dad's our slave. And right back here it's talking Zodiac about the slave in paradise and everything. That bowling alley's in Morton, Washington now. We're painted gray with a saw on it. Millhouse Smokehouse. You know, they don't even want people to know there's a bowling alley there. And they're selling pulled pork. Yeah, because the pigs pulled the job, and the prior owners of it painted it green, and they put my friend's name that was murdered on my bed on that bowling alley thing, and I got it over here with pictures and everything. We'll go over that later too.
And Shepard 10 times. He left the couple for dead and walked casually back to Hartnell's car, where he drew a cross-circle symbol in a black magic marker on the side of the car and the dates of the attacks in Vallejo.
And we're at the Highway Market in Port Angeles, Washington, on that peninsula right there, Port Angeles, Washington 101. Right there was a Highway Market. There was a gas station right behind it, Exxon gas station right now. It was an Inco gas station. It turned into an Exxon gas station.
At 7:40 p.m., an anonymous caller contacted the Napa County Police Department. He spoke to Officer David Slight in what was described as a low, monotone voice. He told Slight, "I want to report a murder. No, a double murder."
Park, you see, right there, Mayland Park, Kent. Marietta was lived by signs too. And by the way, Mayland Park, Kent is an ex-law officer. They hide behind pigs. They hide behind cops. You know, the cops are involved in all of this, and my mother was right there with a cop, right there in Chehalis, Washington. You know what? I got screwed out of my inheritance. My family robbed me from it. I'm supposed to be so goddamn scared of them. I won't come forward and say what's wrong, and they could steal me blind at the same time. They think that I goddamn won't come and push the button on them, and I would. Not because of the money, because they murdered my friend in front of me, and this is about D.B. Cooper and the Zodiac Killer.
An intensive manhunt was immediately launched, but somehow there was a mistake made to the killer's race, and the police were searching for a
police made a mistake. They called him, they told him what was it, and the operator again makes a mistake. By the way, they did the same thing before.
Fitting the original description, who was just blocks from the shooting, but because of his race, the police did not consider him a suspect. The Chronicle received another letter from
on the 14th. When I was 14, that boy got murdered. I get a lot of 14. 7/14/21.
This saying, the police failed to catch him because they did not search the area properly.
It's just patterns.
He then pointed to his next intended victims, school children. A caller identifying himself as the Zodiac contacted the Oakland Police Department and demanded on-air time on the Jim Dunbar television talk show.
Matter of fact, this here guy right here was found in
both famous defense lawyers.
mental institution near this place. He was calling in, and he got to a phone, and he put on a little bit of a show.
And asked that Belly were to meet him in Daly City. Belly agreed, but the caller never showed. It was later determined that the call was a hoax, and the imposter was a mental patient at the Napa State Hospital. On the 8th and 9th of November, the Chronicle received 2 Zodiac letters. The first one was a 340-character cipher. The second letter was 7 pages long and included another piece of Stein's shirt. In the letter, he claimed the police had stopped to talk with him 3 minutes after he shot Stein. He also drew a schematic, of which he referred to his death machine, which was made to blow up large objects, such as buses.
4/8/12.
Melvin Belly received a Christmas card at his home, which included another piece of Stein's shirt. In the card, the Zodiac claimed he wanted help from Belly, ending with, "Please help me. I cannot remain in control for much longer." Attempts from Belly to get the Zodiac to contact him again were made, but nothing ever happened. Some speculate the card was written during a moment of clarity, while others believe it was another attention-getting hoax on the part of the Zodiac. On the evening of the 22nd of March, 1970,
January,
Kathleen
February, March.
Jones,
Where was
who
my
was
dad?
8 months
March
pregnant,
1970.
was on her way to meet her mother. She had a 10-month-old daughter in the back seat of the car. While on Highway 132 in San Joaquin County, west of Modesto, Johns pulled over after a driver pulled up alongside her and indicated there was something wrong with her
But I
car.
know who
The
he
driver
was.
pulled over and told Johns that her wheel was wobbling. He said he would tighten the wheel bolts, but instead he loosened them, then returned to his car and drove off. When Johns pulled away, the tire fell off. The man in the car was not far ahead and backed up
It's
and offered Johns a ride
10:20.
to a
I'm
fuel
gonna have to
station.
cut this off about
But she
30
agreed,
seconds.
but became frightened when he failed to stop at several fuel stations. The ride took over 3 hours of what Johns described as silent, aimless driving around. She was able to escape with her child when the driver stopped at an intersection. Johns fled across
She escaped.
a field and hid until she saw the man drive away. She received help from a passerby and was taken to the local police department in Pattersburg.
She claims it was the guy's face.